Okay, so what happened was I sewed in one side of the sleeve, and I found out I skipped a stitch here, and I skipped a stitch up here on the top. So I got my needles back out. I don't know if you can see that or not. See, I've got a skip stitch here and a skip stitch at the top. So you can probably see it from the front better. So I got out my needles, and I went from my 80-14, my 80-12 to my 90-14 to see if that'll prevent me from skipping stitches. If I was using the lighter weight Sewology instead of the Dritz, I probably would have been fine, but I was using the Dritz. So I lost my plastic. Okay, so this is how I did it. I took my elastic and I gave myself the same tail that I can hold on to, and I'm going to fold this down. If you find out that you still have too much here on the top, you can just trim it down some more if you have to. It should just be able to go right in there as you bend it over. So you just want to fold that over until it looks nice and neat and put a pin in it. Okay, so same thing, you're going to stretch your fabric a little bit to get this elastic around this edge. So pull your fabric, put in your pin, same thing, pull your fabric, put in your pin. So you're basically just stretching your fabric around the edge of that arm seam. Wrong needle. Okay, good enough. Okay, so let's go ahead and zigzag that. Same thing I did, even though I'm using up my elastic, it's better than having to fight trying to dig it out if it goes into the feed dogs. Okay, so let's go ahead and lay that down, do a couple back stitches. Okay, hold on to your tail and go forward. Okay, if you get caught, this could be your needle's in the way. That pin is in the way. Okay, so move your pin. I'm not seeing any more skip stitches, so I must have solved that problem with the thicker needles. Okay. Okay, let's see how that worked out. Yep, that was it. No more skip stitches. So same thing, pull your elastic, cut, pull your elastic and cut. Just don't cut your fabric this time because you're not cutting any, you don't want to cut your fabric. You can't save those tails. There's not really anything you can use them with. Okay, there's a little too much fabric stitching here. Let me cut that off. Okay, so we've got sleeve number 1 done and sleeve number 2, and that's basically your front piece. Okay, on the pattern I said that this was a 3-inch span and this is a 3-inch span. So if I try and sew these together now, I'm only going to have about this much for my turn-in for my elastic. And that's pretty much all I needed. So unless you're going to have to make adjustments. If you make a bigger turn than this for your elastic, you're going to have to make this piece wider. Let's just say you like to use a whole inch to make your turn-in for your casing, your elastic casing. So you're going to have to add a little bit to this pattern. Just go up a half an inch or quarter inch or whatever you use. When I make my folds for my elastic, I usually turn down a little bit of about a quarter of an inch and then a half of an inch. And that's why my pieces line up. Okay, so what I turn down for this and for the elastic casing is almost perfect to fit on this, but this is the way I sew. So just whatever you use for your, remember when we made those pants, I had that line for the casing? So just think of an imaginary line that you're going to have to match up, and then realize that that's what you're going to need for your casing. If you like a more casing, increase. If you like less casing, then take it off. Another thing is, I don't know where that piece of yellow was. I tried making that, I think I showed it in the video already before. It was a piece of elastic that sorry, I probably just shook the camera again. It was a piece of yellow fabric that I sewed, and I did it without making a casing. Okay, well I can't find it. But anyway, I'm going to put a casing in mine. I put a casing in the yellow one, and I put a casing in the back of the red one. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold my casing down. So go to make sure you've got, this t-shirt fabric has a right and a wrong side. So this is the wrong side, and you can tell that this is the wrong side of a t-shirt because you can't see the ribbing. If you look really closely on the front of the t-shirt, you can actually see the ribbing in the t-shirt. So I'm going to go ahead and fold this down, and then I'm going to get my casing ready to put a seam down here so I can feed my elastic through, and that's a little time consuming, so I'm going to shut down right now and I'll come back and do the casing with this already ready to sew. Okay, I've got my back piece of my camisole pinned together. This is what I was looking for. If you want to sew your elastic this way, you can. I just encased that in the fabric, and I zigzagged across it. Like I said, if I would have gone with a looser zigzag, maybe I wouldn't have got that, wavy, or if I went with a different fabric, I don't know. But if you want to do it this way, that's fine. And this is like what they do on bathing suits and around underwear and things like that. But you do stretch your elastic out this way when you do this, and I didn't want that to happen. I wanted my elastic to lay flat, so I just went ahead and used a casing. So it's whatever you want to do. If you can get this and it looks nice, then do it this way. It's much easier. Okay, since we're going to be in a situation where we're always going to have to stretch this, we don't really have to use a stretch stitch on here because it's going to have elastic in it. So I'm just going to use a regular straight stitch, and I'm just going to sew across and make sure that my casing will be wide enough that it'll fit inside my casing. So I want to sew right on top of that edge. So here we go. I'm getting that clicking noise. needle. Okay, so we got our casing done. It went off a little bit, but it's okay. I'm not going to worry about it. That's going to be where I'm going to insert. I'm going to sew on my strap right in that area anyway, so it's not a big deal. I just missed one stitch, I think. Yeah, I don't know why that happened. Okay, so here we go. So there's that, and you can use your pin technique to pull your thread through, your safety pin, or if you've got one of those, one of those turners, which I don't even know where mine is. Okay, well, I'm going to have to go back and come back again. Okay.